something to build, right? So you have to learn how to sort of balance all these different voices that are coming to play in your design process. So what do you do when you have these multiple opinions? Well, I went to art school, so we have these things called a critique. And everyone learns how to kind of be polite to each other and rip each other apart at the same time. And I think that a lot of design firms sort of need to foster that more and encourage that. Criticism is not data, though. And that's the thing. You have to be prepared to have sort of a design discussion where people express their opinions, and maybe they can't necessarily back it up. But it is a matter of having another pair of eyes on things, and that's better than just one person. There's sort of the classic debate, the under-over discussion. Having this debate produces better design. And it's kind of like the adversarial model of the court system. We produce better results by having discussions. I believe a lot of UX designers would benefit from the same process that a lot of programmers have been trying for the last 10 years, which is pair programming, to do pair designing, where two sets of eyes are working on something. I really find I've never been able to design something by myself without having frequent check-ins with someone else who's very invested in the product as well. So, you can analyze it and present all the arguments you want. This person tried to show that it's more visible if it's over than under, but this one tried to show that the physics are better. Another one, there's no final sort of conclusion to this argument, and there never will be. But it's a good example of how the argument itself produces design insights. This might help design a better dispensary, but we'll put it on the wrong way. Basically, a good design critique is like a really good user test, a really low fidelity user testing session, testing with one other person. There's a great quote by another IDEO, Diego Rodriguez. Prototype as if you're right, listen as if you're wrong. Phase one, when you're designing something, when prototype, you can substitute any other deliverable, any kind of process you're doing, every artifact. Be confident about what you're doing, design it as if this is the right way to do it, and then just bring other people into the equation and let them tear it apart. Because maybe the way you did it was wrong, and maybe you need to update that technique as well. Your bag of tricks, it should be constantly being updated. So a couple things to try moving forward. So in the research phase, designers, get involved in research. Do research, get yourself invited to user interviews, get yourself behind the glass. A lot of times they don't bring the whole design team to that. You really have to see that stuff. And if you're a researcher, get involved in the design process, attend the critiques, sketch with the designers. Because I've often found that people who have actually attended research meetings with clients, even if they're not designers, they can sketch a really great answer and come up with really great design solutions. Planning. Plan to change your plan. Make sure that your plan always has a backdoor. Make sure your boss knows that you want to change your plan. If you're not the one in charge, make sure your client knows that this is the closed path. But at some point, we're going to reveal something that we're going to need to change this. I think a lot of technology people have been learning that through Agile, but I think a lot of design processes haven't quite learned that, although we are Agile in other ways. 37 Signals has their new book has a great quote, and planning is guessing. It's true. When you make a plan, you're guessing. It's good to guess, but you have to be prepared to be wrong. Storytelling, think of your design process as a story. Not just I think stories are really wonderful design tools. Kevin Cheng's cartoon is an example of using stories to describe a design experience. But imagine to describe a product experience. But imagine your design experience as a story. Document what you're doing while you're designing. It's amazing the kind of insights you get when you start a project and you go back in and you look at all the photographs of the whiteboards and the meetings and the documentation you have. It sort of forms a story. Postmortems are really good tools for that too. Because remember, when you're doing a design process, you're not reliving someone else's story. You're not redoing the same process over and over again. Design can't be templated that way. You're writing your own story. Again, invite the client more too. Your deliverables are ultimately for your team. They're not for your client, right? But invite the client into the design team so that they can be involved in it, so that they can actually kind of blur that line between a client and a designer. Leave post-it notes up on the wall for the client to see and sort of experience your work. They'll value your talent more. And finally, throw away the templates. When you're about to start a deliverable, even a really standard one that you've done a million times before, just sort of stop and say, maybe I'll try to invent something new. Maybe I'll start from scratch. see what happens. Maybe you'll invent something new and share it with the world, and we'll see. So thank you so much.